Hi there. I'm all dressed up to tell you it's Sprint Series night in America.
Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and it's Sprint Series night in America once again as we are here for the 6th race of the season in the Wawa Sprint Series. We are here at the Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. Got a great one coming up in the Wawa Cup Series this Saturday with the Cheerwine 400, but first, we run 25 laps here in the Wawa Sprint Series around the Rock. We went from 1 mile on racetrack to another. This one's a lot different, and the big thing about this racetrack is the tire wear, and that will really come into effect in the Wawa Cup Series race on Saturday. But today, we'll also see that come into effect as well. I think we'll probably have about a 1.5 second fall off by the time we are done this race. I'm turning alongside one of the Cup Series drivers here tonight, Daniel Paulus Jr. And Daniel, you've been running in the Wawa Cup Series already. This is really the first racetrack we've gone to this season where the tire wear is as significant as it is. So what do these drivers in the sprint race need to do to make sure they have a good enough set of tires at the end of the race to have a shot at a race victory?
Yeah, AG. So first off, we know Rockingham Speedway is a very old track. And when we go to these old tracks, we're going to have these tire runoffs. And with these tire runoffs, you don't want to be pushing your car 100%. Because if you do that, then you're going to wear down your tires, which could cost you the win later on during the race. So what I expect these drivers to do, and what I would do, since I'm a Cup driver, I would go very easy in the first half of the race, and then when we get to the toward the end of the race, that's when I would start going 100%.
And we're just going to have to see how well these guys can do it. Of course, these guys only have 25 laps, so it's not going to be a full fall-off for these guys as it will be for the Cup Series. It'll be at a 53-lap fuel window on Saturday, and the tires are really going to fall off in that race. Looking forward to that one. But this is a great way to get an idea of what we're going to see on Saturday in the Wawa Cup Series. Of course, a lot of the similar drivers in the field for this race here today. Of course, starting on the pole position this week is Skylar Taylor, first driver to sign up in that number 45 machine. We'll have to see what he can do in the 45 for Trinity River Racing. But he's going to start alongside Jim Vincent, who won at Daytona there on the front row. In the point standings, Benny Moore holds on to the points lead by 15 points ahead of Trey Bartow. And you see Avery Alford, our last winner, Luna Lona there, 4th in points, and Samet Ozkin, 5th in points coming into this race. Of course, still very tight in the point standings as we have just started off this season. Right behind those guys, you have the number 4 of Samet Ozkim this week driving for Titan Fury Racing alongside the 05 of Luna Lona, who won last week at Phoenix. She could go 2 in a row here. We got Joe Rutkowski there in the number 74 to the inside of Philip Torres, Bruno Diacomo in the 40, and Cole Raymond in the 7, Mason Brown in the 77 alongside the 83 of Avery Alford. The 96 there of Dale Johnson, the 2nd, and the 01 of Tyreek Hartman. 33 machine, great to see this driver back. 10-time winner on the channel, Ashlyn Boyd, back behind the wheel to the inside of Trey Bartow. A lot of wins there in that row. You got the 00 of Will Parrish, who won at Las Vegas, to the inside of Cameron Lassard. 78 machine is Luis Rodriguez to the inside of Benny Moore in the 56. And then the 60 of MJ Williams, first career start for him, to the inside of Emily Bull, who won at Auto Club earlier this season. We'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off. And like I mentioned, Skylar Taylor there starting on the pole position. Now, unlike Phoenix, I think we'll see a little bit of passing here today. Daniel, who do you think is going to get the race victory here at the Rockingham Speedway? It's going to come from the top 5, or will it be somebody else in the field?
Well, from what I saw at practice, I saw the 45 was the fastest Toyota Camry today. So I'm going to expect the 45 to be up front for the most part. But don't count out that 10-time winner back there. He's a really good driver, and I can't wait to see what he can do here at Rockingham.
First career start in the Wawa Sprint Series for Ashlyn Boyd, and I know he's been trying to get into these races the past couple of weeks. Great to have him back behind the wheel. Always did very well in the National Series back in the day. Well, here we go. It's Sprint Series night in America at the Rock. This is going to be a fun one. 25 laps of action. Pace car down the pit lane, and we're underway in the Wawa Sprint Series. A good jump there out of Skylar Taylor. Oh, 3 wide though, and this is something we also have to watch out for. 3 wide off the exit of turn number 2. As a matter of fact, right here is where it might be an issue. A couple guys bouncing off each other, but they keep it together, and we remain green here at Rockingham.
Yeah, that's the one thing, AG. You do not want to go through right here at Rockingham. We see how these 3 wide incidents happen. Just like that, you see the 05 hit that wall in turn 4. This is what I'm talking about. These drivers do not want to push it in the beginning, because if they damage their car, they will lose tire wear too from pushing it.
Absolutely, and the tire wear will still be significant as this race goes along. So tough break there for Luna Lona in the 05, won last week at Phoenix, and came into this race 4th in points, but she's going to fall back right there. But still a little ways left to go in this race. Number 4 there, Sam and Oskin almost had Skylar Taylor there, but Taylor able to hold on to the race lead. Bruno Giacomo there running in 3rd in the 07 to Jim Vincent left. They're currently the 4 drivers in the transfer spots to advance onto the Cheerwine 400 on Saturday. You got Dale Johnson the second trying to move on for NS Racing. Of course, NS Racing's done a pretty good job this season here in the Wawa Sprint Series. And there goes Johnson for the 4th position on Vincent left.
Yeah, as you see the 96 take 4th position here. Now, if I was in the top 4, I would not want to stress out. It's really early in this race. You know, as long as you're in the top 4, you're going to make it to the big show with the Cup Series drivers with us. And that's going to be a harder race to run. But it's good to run this race, too, because you're getting more practice than the Cup Series drivers.
Absolutely. We don't even have practice in this series. But, you know, this is a video game, so, you know, these guys can figure it out pretty well. For the race lead, Sam and Oskin there on Skylar Taylor. And Titan Fury Racing going to take the race lead away there, and that's going to open the door for Dale Johnson the second and Jim Vincent left, and Giacomo now in the 5th position. Vincent left looking pretty fast there in the 07. He is Oskin's teammate in this race here for Trinity, or I made that mistake. Titan Fury Racing. There's Trinity River Racing and there's Titan Fury Racing. They both start with a T. And speaking of Trinity River Racing, Skylar Taylor went way off in turn 2 and smashed the outside wall.
And the reason he's having that problem is AG's because of the tire wear. It looked like he was pushing it earlier in this race, and now it's starting to affect him. As you see, the 85's on his inside in turn 1, as the 85's probably going to pass him going down the back straightaway out of turn 2.
Yeah, Philip Torres there in the 83 machine for Hairgel Motorsports. Cole Raymond right there as well. And your pick to win this race, Ashlyn Boyd, or one of the drivers to watch for at least, already up to 5th. He could be in the Cup race on Saturday the way things are going. But these 4 guys kind of pulling away right now. Dale Johnson the second here on the back bumper of the 4 machine of Sam and Oskin. Of course, Oskin with a great opportunity now. All the races we have had so far in the Wawa Sprint Series this season have been won by drivers who have won their first career race. If Oskin wins today, that'll break that streak. Oskin, a 3-time winner in the old Cup Series back in the day. And he might have an opportunity at getting his 4th career win on the channel here. But Dale Johnson the second has never won before, and he's right there looking to the inside, and he's going to make that one look easy on lap number 9.
Yeah, now you see the 4's going to fall back to 3rd or 4th position here on the back straightaway as the 96 goes down the back straightaway.
Here comes Bruno Giacomo as well, and Oskin's going to lose 3 positions right there as he got stuck in that outside lane. Now Jim Vincent left all over the back bumper of Dale Johnson the second. And we're 10 laps in, and we're about to have our 4th different leader. However, the 96 kind of working that outside, but that 07's going to find the advantage on the inside lane. Now, once the tires wear out, another thing that we're going to see, especially in the Cup race on Saturday, is that outside lane tends to work in a lot better later on in the run, especially when the tires wear out. But when these guys have fresh Goodyears, they can work that inside lane to their advantage. And now Johnson going to fall back to 3rd. He did lead a lap. That's a bonus point towards the championship for him there. And Giacomo now up to the 2nd position there for the number 40.
Yeah, your top 4, 07, 40, 96, and 4 are in the transfer spots for the Cup race as of right now, as we're on lap 11 out of 25. You can see the 07 out of turn 4, and he's still taking the lead.
And a great run here for Jim Vincent left, and trying to get his 2nd win of the season. Going to be the first driver to win 2 races if he can, in fact, pull it off. He's got a great opportunity at doing so. Of course, won at Daytona earlier on in the season, race number 2. And he's actually driven this 07 for Titan Fury Racing ever since that Daytona win. So he's had a pretty solid season. He's 6th in the point standings right now, and a great opportunity for him here. So we're halfway through the Wawa Sprint Series at Rockingham. Here comes Dale Johnson the second. Now, only unless something drastic happens, these top 4 may end up being the top 4 that advance onto the race, because there's a huge gap there between the 4 machine now of Sam and Oskin and the 45 of Skylar Taylor. But Taylor trying to work back up. Of course, he led a few laps there early on. and smash the outside wall, but does seem to be gaining a little bit more speed back in that 45 machine. Comes Cole Raymond in the number 7. Great run for Cole here in this one. He comes into this race 8th in the point standings. And the thing about this whole series that kind of surprised me, we are seeing so many of the same drivers sign up week after week after week that you may have to sign up for each race to have a chance at making it into the chase for this series, into the playoffs. We still call it the chase over here. It's going to be interesting to see who those top 10 drivers are at the end of 20 races, and we're only going to be 14 races left to go to that point after this one here today. How about Skylar Taylor? That 45 is really closed in on Salmon Oskin for the final transfer spot. Here comes Trey Barton moving up through the field fairly well there in the number 80 machine. And then Will Parrish, who won at Las Vegas. He did not run last week at Phoenix, so last time he was on the racetrack, he went to victory lane, at least in the Sprint Series. Did really well in the Cup Series race that weekend as well.
Yeah, and for 4th place right now, as you see the 4, he's getting pressure now from the 45. He is back catching up to the 4 now for the transfer spot for the Cup Series race. So I keep a close eye on them too.
Yeah, but I think we're starting to close in on the point where these tires are starting to wear out, and the longer we get into a run, the harder it is to make a pass, even if you catch up on a guy. But Dale Johnson's going to try to completely negate what I just said right there, and he's going to take 2nd away from Bruno Diacomo. But that's good news for Jim Vincent-Leff, trying to pull away here from the rest of this field and get his 2nd win of the season here in the Wawa Sprint Series. 96 now up to 2nd for NS Racing. Diacomo there trying to get his first transfer into a Cup Series race this season. Up to 3rd, and Salmon Oskin trying to hold off Skylar Taylor here for the final transfer spot.
Yeah, the 45 is going to have to find some kind of line. As you see, he coming out of turn 2. He's right there on Salmon Oskin. So if he can make a pass and make it stick, I think he's got a chance. But Salmon Oskin's very hard to pass here.
And Oskin kind of blocking that inside lane there through the corner. Taylor had a shot there on the inside, but just couldn't quite get it to stick. And watch out for Trey Bartow and Avery Alford here in the 83 machine. You know, these two guys, they might have saved up their stuff. And like you said, you want to save up your stuff. As for the race lead, Dale Johnson to the inside of Jim Vincent-Leff. And that 96 is looking really fast right now here. We'll have to see if this 07 can find a way back around, but that was a very good pass, and that shot Vincent-Leff on the outside, and he really lost the grip there through the exit of turn 4. So Dale Johnson the 2nd, trying to keep this streak alive for the first-timers. It'll be 6 straight races for a first-time win in the Wawa Sprint Series, if he can in fact pull it off. Going to be 5 laps to go next time by. And here goes Taylor to the inside for the last transfer spot.
Yeah, 45 found a way to get around Salmon Oskin, and now Salmon Oskin's going to have to find a way to get in that transfer spot, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, AG.
He's going to have to see, going to try to work that outside lane now that the tires are worn out a little bit here, and Vincent-Leff kind of closing back in on Dale Johnson. Now this is something we're going to see in the Cup Series race on Saturday with twice as many cars, and I'm really intrigued because in testing, the fall off for each lap was almost like 4 seconds a lap. So it's incredibly fascinating how slow they go near the end. But you know, if you have a long green flag run on Saturday, it is going to be a fascinating race, as it always is here at the Rock. And Trey Bartow moving up very well here. Skylar Taylor may help out Bartow, as Taylor has a run to the inside of Diacomo there for the 3rd position, and Bartow may have a shot at getting to that 40 machine. And Dale Johnson kind of holding that gap on Vincent-Leff right now. Taylor trying to take 3rd away from Diacomo, and that may open the door for Bartow. And Bartow, I know he's won multiple times here in the past here at the Rock, and it's a pretty good racetrack for him, and I know he'd love to be in the Cup race on Saturday.
Yeah, as you see the 80 inside of the 40. And 80's clear, so is the 4 Salmon Oskin. 40 goes high. He's going to go duck behind the 4 Salmon Oskin.
Here comes the 77 of Mason Brown. First time mentioning him in this race. Got the 75 behind him there of Emily Bull, who won at Auto Club. They're both top 10 right now. I don't think they'll have a shot at transferring at this moment in time, but great runs for him, trying to get as many points as they can. Here we go. Dale Johnson the 2nd. Coming out of turn number 4 for the white flag here at Rockingham. 1 lap to go for the 96 in NS Racing. Will Vincent-Leff find some way to close in and steal this one away, or will this 96 get his first career win?
Yeah, I think this 96 just needs to play it smooth, play it smart, as they're going down the back straightaway. 07's got a little draft, but I think this is the 96th race. I think he's going to win here at Rockingham, AG.
Oh, Vincent Leff is coming, though. He's got a really good run here off the exit of turn 4. Will he shoot to the inside? He's not going to have enough time. Dale Johnson, the second, wins at Rockingham in the Wawa Sprint Series. Jim Vincent Leff, Skylar Taylor, and Trey Bartow will all be racing on Saturday in the Cheerwine 400 here in the Wawa Cup Series. Once again, a caution-free race here in the Wawa Sprint Series. We've yet to have a caution in any race, which is great. Nice, clean racing out of these drivers. But Dale Johnson, the second, pulls it off here at the Rockingham Speedway. And once again, a first-time winner in the Wawa Sprint Series. At some point, we're going to finally have a driver who wins who has won before. It's going to happen at some point. Vincent Leff almost made it happen in the 07. It's going to happen at some point. Well, hey, maybe you'll win on Saturday after what you saw in the booth here today. How do you think Saturday's race is going to play out? Like I mentioned, the fall off on the tires almost going to be 3.5, 4 seconds at the worst point. About a 53-lap fuel run on Saturday. How are these guys going to manage the tires knowing it's going to be twice as worse as it was for these guys here today?
Yeah, so like we saw today, AG, with the fresh tires in the beginning of the race, they were working that inside line. But as a Cup driver, I know our tire runoff is going to be extreme. So once that starts happening, I think we're all going to start moving to the outside, and we'll start working the outside lane. But I think pit strategy is going to be another thing to look here at Rockingham. You're going to want to use the tires.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out on Saturday in the Cheerwine 400, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I know it's a bit of a strange time, but we're trying to make room for Josh's series. I don't know where he's going to be at because he's already done his Rockingham race, but yeah, we're excited for it. It's going to be a great one in the Cheerwine 400 here from the Rockingham Speedway. And then you're back, Daniel. But it's going to be a great race regardless, and we're looking forward to it. Dale Johnson, the second, will be in it with Vincent Leff, Taylor, and Bartow. Let's see who all gets it done here in the Wawa Cup Series on Saturday. And we'll have to see how the points stack up here in the Wawa Sprint Series, 6 races in. Trey Bartow, I know he was trying to close in there on Benny Moore. He grabbed some few points there on that 56 here in this race. We'll have to see how it all shakes out for him in the point standings. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Huge thanks to Daniel Paulus Jr. for joining me here for this one. And sign-ups for Circuit of the Americas. Yes, that's going to be a fascinating race. That's coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. You're definitely going to want to sign up before everybody else for that race because there's no pit stops in it. And it is a very difficult place to make it pass. It's going to be a fascinating race, fascinating week next week at Circuit of the Americas. Looking forward to all the racing we got going on there. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Dale Johnson II for grabbing the race victory, and we'll see you guys on Saturday for the Cheerwine 400. Here are the points, and I will see you guys later.